And it is Sunday, November 20th. Welcome to ABC-7 Extra. Hello, I'm Stephanie Guadian. For the next half hour, we will take a close look at the dangers of cyberbullying. Texas lawmakers are hoping to put an end to cyberbullying with David's Law. The bill is named after San Antonio teen David Moloch, who killed himself. Lawmakers, they want to make the punishment tougher for online bullies. Tonight, the mother of an El Paso teen who committed suicide joins us to talk about what drove her daughter, Viviana Aguirre, to the edge. Remember, you can email us your comments and your questions right now to ABC-7 Extra at KVIA.com. You can also reach us at 915-496-1771, or you can tweet me at Guadian ABC7. Just remember to use the hashtag ABC7 Extra so we can find you. Lawmakers filed David's Law this week. Parents that we talked to here in the borderland, they said that it would add teeth to current school district policies and make it known that bullying is not tolerated. ABC7's Josie Otagan has that story.
It's a constant messages on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Anything is made up just to make her feel bad, make her feel uncomfortable.
Maria Jaramillo says her little girl has been bullied for years. The bullying of the middle schooler has turned physical.
It got to the point where she had to even defend herself in a fight from a bully after pulling her hair.
Jaramillo worries she may harm herself.
And how does that make you feel? It hurts me as a mother.
Startling new numbers show middle school age children dying from suicide is at an all-time high. The Centers for Disease and Control Prevention shows 425 children committed suicide in 2014, double than what was reported in 2007. Sponsors hope David's Law will reduce those numbers. The legislation would make online harassment of someone younger than 18 a misdemeanor. It would provide counseling and rehab to victims and bullies and would give police more flexibility to get involved in school investigations. Districts like YISD already have their own policies in place. Police can get involved if the child's safety is threatened, but other times it's only considered on a case-by-case basis.
Bullying occurs. We know that. We know it is a difficult issue to confront sometimes, and sometimes children are afraid to reveal it because they're afraid of retaliation.
Parents like Maria Jaramillo say David's Law would encourage students to speak up and maybe even save someone's life.
It needs to get done. There's too many deaths. There's too many kids trying to kill themselves because of the bullying.
Ornelas, the founder and director of El Paso Stop Cyberbullying. Cindy Sanchez, her daughter, Viviana Aguirre, committed suicide after being bullied online. And Viviana's sister, Victoria, also here tonight. I want to thank you three for joining us on this very serious subject. I want to start with you, Cindy. Your daughter, this happened when she was just 14 years old. Did you have any idea that there was a problem?
Not a problem to where she was going to go and kill herself. No, I didn't. I would have acted on it if that was the case.
But she had mentioned bullying, but you just thought it was something that was happening at school?
Yes. I thought that there was something that was happening at school. I would tell her I'm going to go and talk to the administrators, and she said it's just going to get worse. So please just don't say anything.
So she actually didn't want you to reach out to the school, and this was Isleta High School, by the way.
Yes. The times that I did reach out was because Victoria was getting in fights defending her.
Okay. Victoria, can you tell us what was happening? You were her big sister.
Yes.
At the time, you were how old?
I believe I was 15 or 16.
Okay, so she opened up to you a little bit?
Yeah, or we would go to the same school, so I would see what's going on, or her friends would tell me, hey, somebody told Viviana this or that. So right away, I would go and, defend her, tell them, like, hey, what's up? Just let's all be friends. Let's all be nice. But it was a constant, nonstop bullying.
Did you have any idea of the danger that she was in?
No, I didn't. I didn't think it was that serious because everybody gets bullied, but to a certain extent, I guess it was tougher on her. She took it very personal.
Okay. The night before she killed herself, you talked to her. What did you say?
I saw it going on Facebook, so I just told her what's going on, Viviana. She didn't really want to talk. I told her, come on, let's go sleep with me, but she didn't want to. She just nodded her head, and I told her that I loved her, but she didn't say anything back. and I went to my room and I went to bed
The next day?
the same night. And then that's when I woke up and
She woke up to our screams.
And what had happened?
Yes, my husband had found her. When I got there, the El Paso Police Department was outside waiting. I was out at the store, and when we got home, I was walking up my driveway when they got there, and they said, do you live here? And I said, yes. And he says, who's Viviana Aguirre? And I said, that's my daughter. And he says, well, we got a suicide call. And I said, for Viviana? And I was in disbelief, so he sent us upstairs to call her. And when we went upstairs, we found her. So,
And she had hung herself.
yes, we found her in her closet.
It was just a heartbreaking, gut-wrenching story that really grabbed the borderland, and it grabbed you. It actually moved you to action. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
I was at work when it happened, and till this day I still get kind of emotional. I was scrolling on Facebook, and I noticed I met her daughter, Tiffany, and I had Tiffany as friends, and I saw it, but I didn't think anything of it, and I kept scrolling down, and I started seeing the same picture. I'm like, wait a minute, and then my heart started racing. So I go back, and I saw that she had committed suicide, and it reminded me of the times that I didn't. It reminded me of the times that I was being bullied
That's cool.
for my sexual orientation. And that's when I said, I need to do something about it. And that's when El Paso Stop Cyberbullying formed and has been strong ever since then.
Okay, tell us the name of your group again and what you do.
I'm El Paso Stop Cyberbullying. I'm director and founder. And I get called in to speak in schools and if I get invited. And then I also do a lot of community outreach in reference to bullying because it's a subject that no matter how much we target and we talk about it, it's still going to exist.
I want to go back to the family here a little bit. And again, we are so sorry for your loss. And I know how hard it is for you guys to come here and talk about what happened just a few years ago. But as you've said, you do feel that it is important.
Absolutely, it's very important. It's a big problem, not only here in Texas, but everywhere. It's a problem, and kids are losing their lives because of it. I mean, we don't know what state of mind, we don't know what's going on at home, we don't know what's not going on at home, who they're missing, or what's really the root of any problem that they might have, that they can't turn around and speak to someone. In Viviana's case, she didn't want anybody to be in trouble. She just had a huge heart, and she did not want anyone to be in trouble.
And she left messages on Facebook. She was having conversations with people the night before. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, honestly, like I said, I went to sleep, so I didn't see anything. Or if I would have saw it, I would have right away, what's going on, you know? And I would have dragged her to the room. Come on, let's go. But I didn't see anything. Like on Facebook, I woke up to my mom like, hey, is Viviana in here? No, Mom. I don't know where she is. So when I saw that on Facebook, it broke my heart because if I would have seen it, maybe she would still be here and things would be different. But I guess it just, I don't know. And I did see like a lot of her friends commenting like, dude, it's okay, things get easy, it gets better. And I guess her mind was already made up of what was going to happen.
And in the circumstance, the bullying, I'd asked you a few moments ago to kind of share the things that she was being bullied about. And it was something as simple as her freckles or her curly hair.
Right.
But these bullies actually gave her direction, gave her an idea of what she ought to do.
Yes, they did. They did tell her that she was like a waste of space here, that nobody cared for her, that she ought to cut herself in the tub and drown in her own blood. It was just very, very graphic and cruel things that were being said. It wasn't just a normal, oh, well, you're ugly and okay, I'll get over it. It was very graphic and deep, where they were hitting really, really deep.
And we're not going to name any names
No.
tonight. However, the family says you do know who these online bullies were, and in fact that you've spoken to one since the funeral. What was that conversation like?
Forgiving. We forgave.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm pretty sure that her intentions weren't to have Viviana kill herself, but they were just, to her, you know, little games. We're young kids. Well, we're young kids. So for her to live with that guilt, it's very heavy. So we felt, well, we don't want her to go and kill herself because of the guilt. So we reached out as a family, like, we're here, we know, like, everything's gonna be okay, time's gonna pass, and it's gonna get better. And we still talk to her till this day.
We still talk to her. I just feel that forgiveness is a big, big part of it. If we continue to keep hatred, we're doing the same thing. You know, we're bullying her.
Yes.
And we don't want that. We want to advocate against bullying, so we don't do bullying ourselves.
And how big of a problem is this?
It's very big. Throughout the years that I've been doing this, I see a big amount of grown, and not only with teenagers, but as adults and our older people. I honestly don't think it's ever gonna stop. But if we come together as a community and we put a stop to it, and we try to, you know what, say, yeah, we're being a bully, but if we all come together and do something about it and spread awareness, it could eventually drastically stop. And I believe with the new law that's coming into effect, I think that's a very important step, because now those people that are behind fake profile pictures or fake profiles will actually be able to get something in reference to that.
And I do want to, we have an interview that with the Texas senator who actually filed that bill. And again, that bill aims to take on cyberbullying. Here is Texas Senator Jose Menendez explaining exactly how it would work.
The bill is going to define cyberbullying both in the criminal and the civil code as a type of harassment. In the criminal code will allow police, the district attorney's office, and the school to collaborate on the appropriate level of action required. It's also going to allow law enforcement to issue subpoenas and to unmask anonymous users.
And we would love to hear from you tonight on this topic. We've already have some people calling in to the station tonight. Let's go ahead and listen into our first call.
Yes, my name is Jesus from the West Side, and my comment is, why is it that school administrators are not doing anything to prevent any kind of cyberbullying? I know it's come to their attention that this is going on, but I think it needs to be prevented, and it gets me upset that campus administrators at the various high school, middle school, elementary schools do nothing about it. Thank you very much.
All right, and thank you very much for your call. And again, I think this bill that has been filed, maybe, as we said, give the schools a little bit of teeth to enforce or maybe prevent bullying. One thing I would say is, when I was back in school, the bullying happened on campus. Right. But with the internet and with social media, with Facebook, Instagram, it really can haunt or follow a student, a young person, 24/7.
Right. And that's what I think too also. We spend most of our times in school. And it's supposed to be one of the safest places for our kids. And I don't think teachers or principals have the proper training for them to actually do something about it. Because I've been, since I'm founder and director, people call me and tell me, can you go speak to the principal about my son? And I'm like, I could try it, but they're not going to give me no information because I'm not related to that person. But they always refer me to go to the district. Yeah. And they wash their hands, and then that's all they say, go to the district, go to the district. But like I was telling Cindy, if it doesn't happen to anyone that's really close to them, that's when they're going to be like, hey, we need to do something about it.
How important do you think it is for parents to monitor social feeds of their children?
I think it's very important, because it could be, any suicide could be prevented. It's just a matter of seeing the signs. And for example, my case, when I was going through depression, I just wanted to just sleep all the time and cry. And most of the parents are, they don't monitor their kids. I know they sometimes they go to school and they go to work and they have, a hectic schedule, but if they take a little bit of their time to just sit down with their kids and tell them, hey, what's going on? Let's talk about how was school. Every day that my son, my godson gets out of school, I tell him, hey, how was school? Are you being bullied? And at first he was like, yeah, but never mind.
So you have to start that conversation. You have to ask the tough questions and then deal with the answers when they come to you. Okay, we still have a lot more we want to get to. We're just getting started. You're watching ABC-7 Extra. When we come back, you're going to meet an El Paso mother and her daughter, the victim of cyberbullying that is happening right now. Remember, if you have a comment or a question for one of our guests, you can call 915-496-1771. You can also email us right now, ABC7Extra at KVIA.com, or you can tweet me at Guadian, ABC7. Just use the hashtag ABC7Extra. We'll be right back. Maria Jaramillo and her daughter Destiny Aguilar, a victim of cyberbullying right now. Thank you all very much for joining us. I know these are not easy stories to tell, but they're important ones, and I do want to thank you. Can you describe a little bit about what's happening to your daughter?
It's all negative messages. She's getting bullied for just simple things. Negative just because she has curly hair, just because she has a big forehead. Simple little things.
And I don't think you have a big forehead, but how is this happening? Is it happening at school? Is it happening online? How did you first become aware of what was going on?
It's happening both at school and online. And I was aware of it I go through her personal Facebook. I have her password for everything. And I was able to see inboxes and also get to see them on her pictures that she posts.
So you found out right away because you tell her you can be on Facebook and you can be on these social mediums, but I'm going to be there with you.
Yes.
Was she okay with? Were you okay with that at the beginning, knowing that Mom was looking at your stuff?
No.
No. Mom says no. Can you tell me a little bit about what's happening at school?
All these girls, they all came up to me and they all started telling me that I have a big forehead and that I'm a hoe.
How did that make you feel? Mom, I'll ask you to step in. Once you did realize this was happening, did you go to the school? What did you do?
I've gone to teachers. It started first with counselors, with principals, assistant principals. Nothing was getting done. Nothing. It got to the point where my daughter had to get in a fight at school to defend herself from a bully that walked up to her and pulled her hair, stating that different negative things to her. And as I've always told my daughter, never hit first. They let them hit you first, but either way, she was the one getting bullied. She was the one that got in a fight with the bully, and she's the one that got the worst suspension.
You're holding her hand right now, comforting her, and you're crying because this is very painful. People may not understand it because they can post anonymously, they don't have to share their names, but if you ever have any doubt that bullying hurts, I think we're seeing that right now, and I want to thank you for telling us what's happening to you. When you consult and you counsel children, what do you say?
Basically, I put myself in their situations because I lived it. And all they need is someone to just be there for them. And I always tell them, you know what, you don't need to hear anything. You're your own person. God created us beautifully the way we are. And we're like stars. We shine how we want to be shined. Do you know what I'm saying? And the 5-year-old that I was telling you earlier.
That the youngest
yes.
child that you've worked with, 5 years old.
She was a 5-year-old. She was being bullied in daycare. And her mom contacted me saying that she found her daughter with a razor that she wanted to cut her veins. Keep in mind, this is a 5-year-old. I don't believe nobody should ever go through something like this, especially when they're feeling alone.
It's very scary that it could even start at that age. We posted this on the ABC-7 Facebook page, and we've had some people write in with comments, and I want to share just a couple of those comments from our Facebook page. The first one comes from Lupe Robert Pino Rios. He says, "It all starts at home with us, the parents, to take control, lead, but most of all, show our kids love, respect, and all the good stuff so they can be good fruit too." Letitia says, "Nothing is more important than teaching respect to all, not only to our youth, but to the parents raising this generation. Bullying is a learned behavior, and unfortunately, it is a reflection of what the youth of today sees in the presence of their parents." I want to ask you, how big of a role do you think the parents of these bullies are playing, should be playing? Should they also be looking into, their children's social media pages to see what they're posting?
They should. Like in our situation, we had a meeting, the parent never went. She refused to go because her daughter, she said, was an angel. She didn't believe her daughter did that because her daughter had gotten bullied herself. So she didn't believe her daughter was bullying anyone else.
So what did you do? Did you unfriend these people? Were you friends with them on Facebook, or were they just posting?
She had unfriended them. They would make fake profiles. It got to the point that this same person had up to 22 fake Facebooks just to get a hold of her. She would use her own friends that she had as friends for her name to get to her.
Is this still going on now, or has it stopped?
Yes, it's still going on.
Do you talk to your teachers?
There's actually one teacher that laughs about it.
Who thinks it's funny? You definitely do not think it's funny.
Personally, my daughter has more absent days than she has present days.
Because of this?
She'll make herself sick at school just so they could send her home. Because she's already known that she's going to go into that class, and she doesn't want to go.
Are you speaking to a counselor at school, or have you thought about that for your daughter?
The counselor at school is aware of it. She's been talking to the kids, boys, girls, but it went good for a week after the school district got involved. The 1 week they did an intervention, and one week later it started all over again.
So you're definitely hoping that this bill it becomes law?
Yes, it really needs to, because there's too many kids harming themselves, killing themselves, or trying to kill themselves over bullying.
And your biggest fear right now is what?
My daughter hurting herself. My daughter hurting herself, because she's told me herself, sometimes she's like, "Mom, I shouldn't have just been brought into this world." She's like, "It's too much. It's too much to deal with."
Okay. Well, you definitely should have been brought into this world, and we're very happy that you are here. We want to go ahead and turn to some more of the folks calling in tonight. Caller, go ahead.
One of the questions I had is, how do you explain to children what they just finished seeing with the president-elect, where he was bullying people with disabilities, women, and et cetera, and et cetera? Please help us to explain how we should explain this to our children.
Good question, and actually a good point. Bullying can happen to anyone at any age. It happens to us newscasters. For people post online things about us as well. What do you say?
I don't agree with Trump because he's setting an example for all of us. But the choices have been made, and we have to live with it. And hopefully later on, he manages to change the way he thinks.
But the basic message that you're giving is, bullying is not right at any age.
At any age.
And then we have to...
And you know what? It starts at home, believe it or not. And sometimes the parents are the ones that are being the bullies. And they see the parents doing it, so it's okay for the kids to doing it because they're seeing an example of it. So they go to school and then say, "Oh, my dad did it, so it's okay for me to do it." You know what I mean? But if we come as parents and talk about it and say, "You know what, we need to change the way we think sometimes because we're setting an example for our kids." So the previous questions that they had asked, I think it starts from home.
Starts with home. Okay. Something all parents need to think about. Again, I want to thank you very much for sharing your story, and just be strong. We're going to take a break. You're watching ABC-7 Extra. We'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone. I want to welcome my guest back, Annette Ornelas, the founder and director of El Paso Stop Cyberbullying. You are online and you have a Facebook page as well. You want people to check that out. Also, we have your family coming back to join us again, talking about your daughter, Viviana, who died. You wanted to give a message to the folks out there who are watching about your daughter.
Yes, the message that I want to give is that not only do we want to send a message to the bullies or to the people that are being bullied, but we also need to send a message to those that are standing and watching others be bullied. We need to speak up. If the bully, the one that's being bullied is not speaking up, those, the ones that are the bystanders need to speak up. Yeah. They really need to say something, and I mean that could save a life.
Yeah, a very important message. Cindy, you wanted to add something to that?
Yeah, I did want to add something. Yeah, because you want to speak up, even if you're scared to say, hey, I'm being bullied, because you're embarrassed. Just do it anyway, because these people that are the bullies, they need their consequences. They need for it to be out there that it's not nice to bully, you know?
And it's not going to be tolerated.
Yeah, not only nice, it can be dangerous, and as your family has
seen. And it could cause a life, and then you live with the guilt and the regret and all of this. That's very unhealthy.
Yeah. And then a family will live with the loss.
Yeah, and it's very hard, especially the holidays that are around the corner.
That are coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a couple more callers. I want to get to at least one more before we go. Caller, if you're there, go ahead.
My name is Kathy, and I've been bullied for about 30 years by a family member or an ex-family member. You don't have to be a kid to be bullied, and you don't have to be a kid to think about suicide. It's been for so long, and I'm 53 years old now.
And that she's proof again that bullying can happen at any age, even workplace bullying can happen. Your advice for her?
Kathy, I encourage you that you stay strong and you're not alone. Find me on Facebook, El Paso Stop Cyberbullying. Talk to me. I'll be a good listener. And we all need to come together as a community and step up, because I believe El Paso is an amazing place to live. We have amazing people, and if we all come together as a community and stand together in this important issue, we could actually do something about it.
Yeah, and I think that is a good message, that, you know, people who are being bullied, especially online, may feel alone. But you're definitely not alone. It is happening to so many people out there, young and old. Right. I want to thank you guys for stopping by and sharing your story with us. Hopefully this has reached some folks out there who needed to hear it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching ABC-7 Extra. Have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.